Hey everyone, welcome to SEO This Week, episode 185. Thank you all for joining me. Hot off of the high, as it were, of SEO Rockstars last week. If you missed it, it was Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Started at 9 a.m. Pacific and kind of went on until on average about 5 p.m. Pacific. And then we had the Remo conference room open where people can just kind of jump in and, we hung out, man. We hung out and I drank a whole lot of whiskey and we talked SEO to politics to COVID to all kinds of crazy stuff. And so it was kind of the best that we can get in ways of a conference. And I actually had a really good time. We talked to or heard from some great speakers, etc. And I thought it was really valuable for us. Let me fix that. That's going to bug me, and I'm not going to be able to keep my head right. Ta-da! 185. There we go. So we had let's see. Most of the first day was really about. There was a lot of sales stuff. But on the SEO front, we had Dixon Jones. He came in and talked to us about topical clusters and highlighted some things that he's seen with topical clusters and the application thereof topical clusters. Obviously, he did it from the perspective of what he's seen from his customers and inlinks. And then he kind of moved on into interlinking, which was really cool. And then let's see, day two, man, kind of all ran into each other here. Let me bring this up because I wasn't even going to talk about this, and I just figured why the hell not. Hold on. Speakers. Day two, we had Robert. I don't even know if I want to try to pronounce his name. He's from Poland. It's Robert Niechcial. Niechcial. Really crazy smart dude. And he talked about stuff like keyword clusters and how to build clusters and some methods to do it, and etc. And then he gave us a spreadsheet and how his team, he shared how his team is building clusters and stuff, which is really, really cool. Let's see what other highlights for that day were there for me. Dino Gomez, he came in and talked Facebook stuff. And that's kind of really relevant to me because I want to use Facebook to augment the lead gen that we're doing on the SEO side. Not only for my agencies, but for my clients. And his presentation was really, really good. Elizabeth Samuels came in and she knocked it out of the park, man. If you're a web developer or a web designer, specifically web design in her case, and you're having problems with your SEOs, or if you're an SEO and you're having problems with your web designers, you really want to watch her presentation once you get the opportunity. I think that kind of nailed it and nailed some things home and kind of help us bridge the communications gap, as it were. Day three, Michael Susky from, and I'm slaughtering these names, but he's from Surfer, and he came in and he talked about more keyword cluster stuff, the application of keywords clusters, how to use them, how to build them manually and programmatically, and the promise with each one of those methods, which I thought was really, really good. Matt Woodward, he spoke. There was a recording. I have to freely admit I missed most of it. I was fighting with technical issues on that day, I believe. Perry Belcher came in and just talked about building business, man. He's bought and sold businesses $10 million plus, and he just talked about that and looking at it from his perspective and kind of get the juices flowing. If you're going to do this digital marketing and SEO stuff as a business. And if you're not, it kind of helps you if you already have, you're a locksmith, you're a plumber, you're whatever, and kind of think outside of the box in regards to the business stuff, which was really good. Let's see. And then the last day we had Craig Campbell. His talk was really good. I didn't think we'd expect anything less. Terry Samuels came on. Brian Dean, I missed his presentation. Moon, she came on and talked about some great stuff that augmented what Marie talked about in regards to on-page optimization. And Moon's perspective was actually from the perspective of an affiliate do that stuff, which I thought was really, really good. And then the last presentation of the day, if you were there, you don't know, but Leon Sheed, he misjudged the time zone change and showed up like 40 minutes late. We waited, we hemmed and hawed, we kind of BS'd and tried to buy some time to see if we can get a hold of him. He didn't show up, and then we closed the webinar, canceled or finished the conference, right? And then he showed up. So we brought him into Remo, and he actually gave his presentation there. So if you didn't see that and you have access to the recordings, go check that out. It was really awesome. If you don't have access to the recordings, those will be available. We're probably looking maybe tomorrow, as soon as to get those up and going. So we got some site stuff that we're working on right now. We'll figure out the pricing. It's going to be actually really reasonable. And then you guys will be able to get off going on that, which is cool. Let's see. SEO this week. You want to get into the news? Want to talk about that stuff? Let's see what's going on. Okay, there we go. First, we got the first article I'm covering is it's a split testing article, and I don't know if you've been around the block for a while, you know that Google is changing the way that the meta descriptions work. Sometimes they'll use yours, sometimes they won't. For the most part, if you set them for your primary keyword, they'll use what you set for the primary keyword, and then alternate keywords, they'll pick whatever the hell they want to, right? So for long tail stuff, and there's been a lot of people in the space, SEO wise, that actually are complaining about them doing that, and they don't like it. I wrote these great and wonderful meta descriptions, and now you're changing it. Well, someone decided, hey, let's test it, and as you guys know, I like testing stuff, so and they tested and ran removed the meta descriptions abilities by using the no snippet around the body or inside of the body tag. So anything in the body couldn't be used as part of the rich snippet. And essentially, it forces Google to use the no your meta description. And what they found is, as a result of the test, they actually lost 3% of organic traffic from it. And their conclusion was, ergo, if you don't let Google do this, you're going to lose 3% of your traffic. It's an interesting conclusion. I'm not entirely sure, is it because of the default descriptions and lowered ranking, or it was default descriptions which lowered relevancy to some of the long tail stuff that they were ranking for now because Google was allowed to modify the descriptions, and that reduced your click-through rate. So it's an interesting thing to think about, especially if you're one of those that like leaving your meta descriptions blank and you let Google put whatever they want, or you're really worried about optimizing for multiple terms, and not so much optimizing for, but just being acceptable, making it acceptable to do that. And for the most part, the way I teach it is, the main keyword, the meta description is optimized for that, but the long tail stuff, let Google figure it out, right? And I'm okay with that. And I think that 3% drop they had, I guess if you don't have a whole lot of traffic, 3% is a big deal. But if you do have a lot of traffic, then maybe you kind of want to force that single meta description, right? If it's worried about you, you're not worried about it. So personally, I would just say set your defaults and then let Google do what it's going to do on the long tail stuff. If they want to give you your page extra rankings on 200 or 300 more keywords, and they want to change the meta description for that, then so be it. Excuse me, itchy throat. All right, next one is bad internal linking. This is a episode from the Google Search Console's help chat, or whatever the hell they want to call it nowadays, with John Mueller. But at the end of the day, the crux of this is John Mueller says if you have pages that don't have links from other pages on your website, search is going to discount them. And the reason behind that is that it's an indicator to the algorithm that's not important. You don't feel that page is important enough to reflect on your website. So why should they, right? So if you're not taking or taking that page seriously on your website, then they're not going to take it seriously. And as a result, it may or may not show up in the index, or it may or may not rank, or it may not rank as well as it could if it had the internal links, etc. Right? I actually, and you all know that I'm not a John Mueller rah-rah kind of dude, but I'm pretty sure, based off of what I've seen from May and the May update, and how our pages, or our pages that had no internal linking, how they reacted. They were ranking really, really well for the longest time, just on page SEO, template structure setup, and the internal linking that was there was actually not even being read by Google. Come to find out, because the developer coded it in a way that Google just didn't read it at all. And so all those pages dropped at the May update. And then once I reapplied or applied, finally got around to doing the internal linking on these pages, that all came back. And it came back just fine, nice and strong. So I'm going to go with, this is probably fact. And if you want to test it out, knock yourselves out. I don't, in a single variable, I don't see how I could possibly test it. Because your control pages don't have any links anyway. So then you add a link from one part of your site to your test page, and obviously it's going to win. And so I think it'd be a little bit harder to scientifically say this is a go or no go. But if you're dealing with some of that May stuff, and you've fallen into the, it was eat on all that other stuff, and you never actually took a look at your internal links, go do that. Go take a look at your internal links and see if some of the pages that you that were dropped are fixed. I know it's all the way in November, and people should have figured out May by now, but you never know. Let's see. Next one, Google Discover. The article in relation to this is from Ahrefs, and what they did is they got some supporting cast, and kind of came up with theories on how to rank for this Google Discover. More importantly, not to rank, but just to get listed in there. I'm not a Discover user, and honestly, I don't think I put out enough content on Digitaleer for it to even trigger. But my news sites may, once we get around to actually building those out properly. So this was actually it's really good. You just kind of take into the mind of Google and how that thing works. And if you're not aware, if you're always searching for, like in my case, SEO, horses, motorcycles, guns, and woodworking. If I'm always looking for those things, and Google learns my search history and then populates Google Discover with news stories that I am, or topics that I'm interested in, and or you can subscribe to specific topics like the 5 that I just mentioned if I wanted to, and Google will populate articles from around the web that are relevant to those. So here they go. Here's what they found on the web, and so what I think is. It's really cool, and there's examples of you can get a lot of traffic and then it'll go away, like 3 or 4 days of traffic and then it's gone, or then sometimes it'll come back and pick up and go steady, or you just all of a sudden you'll just have steady traffic because it's always showing. So I don't want to discount Google Discover, and I think this post will actually help you just kind of, as you're doing other things, just think about these factors that you're probably going to do anyway as part of your SEO, and how to apply them and maybe capture more of that Discover stuff. And hopefully it'll also just stop you if you're one of those guys that you're in Google Discover, you get 5 days of traffic and then it's gone, and then you get on Facebook and complain in about 100 different groups about why it's gone and how come can anyone help them? No, it's just how Google Discover works. Deal with it. Number 4 is Google Analytics 4. I'll freely admit I haven't even moved over yet. All my sites are still on Universal Analytics. And the only reason is I just don't feel like putting in the time right now. But there's some considerations, especially if you got a lot of traffic, you got a lot of Google Analytics data that you don't want to lose. Don't just put Universal Analytics or take it off and then put GA4 on there. None of that stuff's transferring over. So keep them both on there until you get a nice, decent data set in GA4, and then you can turn off Universal Analytics. That would be my one tip and something that I'll be implementing when I put it on Digitaleer. Also what this article is teaching you is the events, how to set them up and how to, scroll event, page view event, bounce rate event, all those little things. All that stuff's kind of changed a little bit in the workflow. So this post is going to walk you through how to do that. Thank goodness for smart people that want to figure out analytics. I'm not one of them. I just hook up to the blueprint spreadsheets, pull it in and make it look pretty. And then I can visually see that stuff versus mashing 1,000 buttons trying to pull the data out of GA. So this is cool. So I would check it out, especially if you have not moved over to GA4 yet, just to kind of get ready for the workload you have coming towards you. Landing page design. I talked last week about a what the hell is it called? Wireframe, and how you can use the wireframe to list out your SEO factors. And then when your designer starts making a page, the SEO factors are always there. H1, H2, or in images and image count and all that stuff. You can put it all in your wireframe in your outline and go off to that. This article is actually about landing page design. It's built, the demonstration page is actually broken up like a wireframe, but you can see the elements, like the design is there. And then what it does is it pulls each one of those elements out and says, you should put this, here's what should go here, here's how to create it and what to plug into it, and then here's how to optimize it. And it goes right down the line, section 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, and builds what's really good looking landing page, right? So I'm kind of knee deep in optimizing Digitaleer for conversions. I think I got the SEO stuff handled. There's a couple cities that are fighting me right now. But my conversion stuff is not anywhere near where I need it to be. And I know that. I made the page for SEO and I need to make the page for conversion. So I'm going to be going through that and applying some of the methods that I got out of there and the stuff that I got from Robert Portillo's presentation in SEO Rockstars on CRO, and kind of turn that into a little better thing. So recommend you go ahead and do that too. And if you're not building landing pages right now, bookmark that, and you can it'll be there for you when you actually do it for whatever reason. Okay, tools. Systrix has it's a keyword research tool. You'll see it, the link inside the show notes, and it is a keyword research. And what it does is it lists out the keywords and the related keywords to whatever term you give it. But the cool thing is you can actually change it and give it for different countries. So let's say I'm searching for SEO in the United States, and it'll give me this list of words and it'll give me a list of questions, and I'm building my FAQs. So let's say SEO, United States, FAQs. I need all these questions, and it gives me a bunch of questions. I write all that content, great and wonderful. I think I can use more. I think I build out this page a whole lot more. I can switch it to a different country, do SEO in UK, and get the questions list from the people that are in UK. This is what all they're asking. And then, not happy with that, I can go to Australia and get that question list and be happy with it. There is a limit on it, obviously, but you can go in there. I think it was 10 a day, and build a nice, decent set of questions out of that. And then there's some cool little, like little mind maps and stuff. If you're just kind of doing a prospecting kind of thing, and you're going to set up, you want to illustrate a silo or whatever for their market, you can use these little cheapo mind map things that Systrix tool outputs. So it's not too bad. And then finally, the SEO Ruler, Pablo has been making a lot of changes to that. He finally got around to updating the Mac version. He's been teasing me on the PC version, and you guys know my main work is on Mac, and so some cool new features that are in here is the entity SEO stuff. It's some knowledge graph. Yeah, you put that in there, and it'll spit out some data, and then you got the NLP view where you can put in a URL and extract the entities, or you can just copy and then put your content in here. Right out, like you finished writing it and you want to extract the entities and then go to town. Obviously, I still have to set it up. I got to put my APIs and stuff in there. Maybe I'll walk through that once I get a better hang of this. But and then this one's going to be really cool. I think this one needs. I think I got to put my API in this one too. Yeah, I gotta add the account. And what it'll do is it'll spit out the Wikipedia and Google Machine ID URLs that we get from Topical Relevance, and I've taught before on that. So now they're inside of the SEO Ruler. There's a couple other platforms that I want to add to that. I'm going to see if Pablo will do it. Productology is one, and DP Media is the other. But I want to see how that, I got to test it first. I don't want to waste his time if those two things are just kind of noise if I don't need them, right? So I got some tests to do, and then I'll give some more recommendations for Pablo on this. And if you've not used this, you can do, Google SERP Extract, the Suggest Scraper, Data for SEO. I just gave them like $100, and the API stuff credit actually lasts forever. I thought I was going to burn through it. The downside of this is it's not really instant, right? So some of these things, it returns, 10, 15, 20 minutes later, just depending on, it's got to go out and actually scrape it. It doesn't have it in some thing. It's not like done already. It'll go out and do its work and then return to you later. And I think that's probably why Techabitis wasn't a fan of it, because it wasn't an instant kind of thing. There was a time delay, and he just wasn't comfortable with that with Quora, for example. But this is all implemented in here. There's way more stuff, and I have some data for SEO tools that I want to see if Pablo can implement in this at the same time. You can get this, sign up, find Pablo on whatchamacallit, on Facebook, or I believe it's SEO Ruler. Yeah, there it is, SEOruler.pro. And you just have to support them on Patreon. It's like $10, and you get the software, and you can put it on as many machines as you want to. Like I got it on my Mac here, and then I put it on my MacBook Pro. So when I'm working outside smoking a cigar, I can just open this up and do some stuff with it. So really, really handy. And that's actually, for an SEO tool, it's a pretty damn good deal, right? So let's see. No questions from you guys. As always, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope, you have questions, I can see them all. You can just drop them into the to the chat there, wherever you're at, and I'll be able to respond to them. And that's the news highlights. I think, yep, that's it. I got all of that covered. As always, you can see that stuff over at Digitaleer.com. In this case, it's SEO This Week, episode 185. The URL is in the description, regardless of where you're watching the show. So let me go to chat. Woohoo. What do you suggest for learning Amazon SEO? I clarify that on Amazon SEO, like ranking affiliate sites in Google for Amazon or ranking in the Amazon search engine? Because one I have an answer for and the other one I have no fucking clue. Hey everyone, Nor chose to watch this instead of sleep. That's because Nor's awesome. Ranking products on Amazon. Yeah, man, you're asking the wrong dude. I know of only one guy. His name is Tyler Perez. You look up him. It's tylerperez.com, and he used to be big on that. He would buy or create products, sell them, and then rank them on Amazon. I don't even have any clients on Amazon, honestly. I would be the totally wrong person to offer you any advice whatsoever on that. I thought about just messing with it and playing with the different things, but since I don't have any products and I don't have any clients on products, clients aren't going to give me money to test on their products, right? So it would be all external factors and CTR manipulation and dinking around with that maybe, but for the most part, I would think titles, product descriptions, sales, and reviews is really where it's at. And if you don't have those, then you're kind of screwed. But that's just from people like, Tyler, he was doing those little meal, what I'm talking about, little plastic things and put your little portions things in there. He did those. I know Garrett, he was doing candles, and he's still doing candles, makes like a crap ton of money selling candles. But for the most part, those are the only two dudes that I'm aware of. And I haven't seen any courses, right? So I haven't seen any courses recently about doing that and how to rank and leverage that. So it's probably, that's just kind of out of my market sphere. So I don't get advertised that stuff. Let's see. How will you play with schema for affiliate sites with the best type content? What do you mean? How will I play with it? I won't play with it. I'll actually employ it. Schema. If you have access to my course and what ranks or from SIA, the first video in there is designed to get you to get your head out of your ass, and I can't say it any more clear than that. Get your head out of your ass and stop thinking about, I'm going to do my affiliate site in this particular way. I got to do my national site in this particular way. I got to do this local business site in this particular way. Because that way that we've all been taught, including myself, was the standard. That's what you set that standard. And now everyone has met the standard because of SEO Press, Rank Math, Yoast. They all put schema in there. They make it push dummy easy for you, and they allow you to deploy it, and you feel good and wonderful about yourselves. But you are not ranking for shit because of your schema. I've tested it over and over and over again. If you're using the schema in those systems, you are not ranking for shit because of them. So when you'd ask me, how am I going to play with schema for an affiliate site best of type post? Well, first off, it's an article, so I'm going to do article schema. Second, I'm talking about a product, so I'm going to do product review schema. I'm probably actually going to, add some aggregate rating stuff in there so I can get some rich snippet schema. But I don't know, because and honestly, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Right? So what kind of product is it? Where is the product made? What kind of other information can I find about it? Where else is it being sold? Is there an affiliate program can I link to? Are there significant links that I can put into my schema that will link to research stuff that shows that the product X, Y, and Z actually works? So, there's if you want questions answered like that now, and it's not, I'm not trying to be rude, but it's so broad, right? So if and think about it this way, Nor, you're doing schema for best of. Well, what keyword is it? What schema is the rest of everyone else using? How do you expand upon that schema that Google already says it likes and make it more relevant by leveraging all the available types and sections that you can add to that schema. It's a really broad question, or my Rockstars presentation and the presentation in what ranks, the initial one, if that doesn't get you to the idea of, oh, I'm not writing basic schema, oh, I got to do work, and oh, this is how I'm going to program it, then you're probably just better off using your time for something else instead of schema. Are you doing a Black Friday sale on a schema course? If you're on the digital, I was debating it. I was debating it. Just got to go set up the coupon and do that all stuff, other stuff. But yeah, I'm kind of tossing around a couple things with the schema course. One is the Black Friday code. The answer, Rock, is probably yeah. I'll probably do it. And then 2 is, do I want to do bi-weekly webinars? And the current membership is kind of asked for those. So I think I'm going to take on bi-weekly webinars for the schema course as well, which will be pretty cool. And then also the third thing I want to do with that is actually, when you buy the course, and this is where the payment stuff is, and maybe you guys can help me out with this. So I charge $4.97 for the schema course right now, right? And like Mike said the last time we called here, raising the price, right? So when I released the course, I said I was going to raise the price. So it was $297. Now I charge $4.97. I said I was going to raise the price. I raised the price. And so the Black Friday thing, if I do that, it'll probably be 50% off, bring you back at $297 that everyone else got it at for back at that time. And then, once Black Friday is over, $4.97 again. But what I'm tossing around is actually, instead of $4.97 for the schema course, and then whatever I decide to charge for the on-page course, and whatever I'm charging for the core course, change what ranks to membership model of either $97 or $127. I haven't decided on those 2 price points a month. And if you're paying $97 or $127 a month, you get access to all those courses. You get access to the webinars, and then you get access to 30 minutes or 15 minutes a month to me to come bring. You get on my calendar, bring your specific problem, and then we'll work together and fix that in hopefully that 15 minutes, or at least get you right on the way. So you guys mull that over. If you think it's something that you'd rather do, just pay a one-off for courses, or get a monthly. And from my perspective, and I don't know how other sellers handle it, but from my perspective, I'm more encouraged to keep giving you cool stuff if you keep paying, right? And I'm not good, and I don't want to just, throw up 1,000 or 100 videos and go pay me $197 and then tell me how great I am. I want to be able to do some stuff that I enjoy. And the main thing that out of that whole thing, the system that I just told you about, is I actually get to talk to you guys, and learn some stuff from you and network, and right. And so that's something I'm thinking about doing. Let's see. The thing is, if you spend up for a course and aren't totally sure it will get value from it, well, honestly, if you are thinking from that, you're probably buying the wrong courses, or from the wrong people. Even the worst course I ever bought, I got something out of it. There's only one thing I've ever bought that was a complete and total ripoff, and I ranked for their business name and told everyone about it that it was a complete and total ripoff. So. It's kind of the thing, right? So if you aren't sure you're getting value of it, maybe, or if you're looking at a course and you're looking at a sales letter, and take it from me, I'm a freaking junkie when it comes to shiny objects and courses. But if I'm looking at it and I'm not sure I'm going to get value out of it, I don't even buy it at all. Like if they haven't set me that I'm going to get something out of this, I'm going to get something out of it in the sales letter, then don't buy it, right? So that's kind of how you solve that thing. That was a good question. I am obsessed in person. This quarter filled my I need more info bucket. Yeah. That's the problem with me. I buy a lot of stuff, and I'm in the I need more info bucket too. Let me see. One more question. If you are getting value, yeah, there you go. That's a good point. If you don't get my value from my free stuff, you may not get value from this paid stuff. That's a really good point. Appreciate that. Alrighty. Talking about value, let's talk about breadcrumb schema. This is probably the easiest and the most boring schema that you can actually implement on your website. And even I like to write schema, but this schema just makes my brain hurt. Not because it's so hard to write, but it's kind of simple, and you're kind of just trying to figure out what the point is. But this breadcrumb schema actually feeds some of the rich snippet things that are going along in here. Like some of this right here, that's breadcrumb schema. It's kind of pulled in from that. I don't know if there's any more examples. Let me see if I can find some more examples. But you get a lot of rich snippet stuff that derives from breadcrumb stuff. Let me go to images. There you go. So these are breadcrumbs. The links in here are all created by breadcrumbs, and you can kind of mess around and play with these. And then here's another one. This is the bigger one, like the more important one for me is this one, especially on your homepage. And you can kind of show off some of this stuff. And maybe get an increased CTR. I haven't seen a test, and really, to me, this makes no difference if it's this or the URL. But it's kind of easier to read, so maybe the CTR in this is better than other stuff. But breadcrumb schema, at the end of the day, it kind of just drives all of that stuff. And this is how much Schema app cares about breadcrumb schema. Right? So schema.org says, yeah, you can do it. And then you have this breadcrumbs list, and you come over here and there's some tangible things that you can put into it. Items list, element, order, and the number of items. And notice this, you can add all this extra stuff in here, which is kind of cool. So what you end up doing is creating a decent set of this list here, and it's clickable when you go through about your day. And the same thing with what Google is mentioning here is you can kind of do the list, or you can actually put multiple breadcrumb trails if you wanted to. So you got this breadcrumb list here going to books, science fiction, and then winners. And then there's another one that just goes from literature to winners. So this is Google saying, hey, you can actually do multiple breadcrumbs in your schema. Now we've tested this, and I tested it in this format, this one right here, and I compared it to stuff that I optimized, which basically, I stuffed the keywords inside of these sections here and here, and I think I did it in a couple of the names and stuff just to see if I could get a ranking boost from it versus a rich snippets boost. And this exact schema, as a matter of fact, beat out the test schema. Because Google, in my opinion, Google is not looking at the relevancy of the URLs. And maybe I set up the test wrong. There could be an instance where I set up the test wrong, or my optimized schema just wasn't optimized enough. But it didn't, at the end of the day, it didn't help rank the last page. And the last page inside of there, this award winners, maybe I screwed up and didn't put the main keyword in here. I'm not entirely sure why this schema beat out the other one, other than to say it just maybe Google just didn't read that stuff, right? It's not really paying attention to this in regards to a ranking boost, which is entirely possible because if you remember last week, we did the job posting schema and I tested that, and Google is not using job posting schema inside of the search algorithm either, unless you're specifically trying to rank for jobs. So it makes sense to me that they could have just kind of written this off. Either you got it there or you don't, and you have some relevant pages to your content. And maybe the relevant pages to your content is what triggered that ranking boost in the original test. So that's a lot of so's. So what I wanted to do is actually kind of just show you how it's like, this is stupid simple. If you are wanting to learn how to do schema, this one and job posting schema, probably at the end of the day, are the two easiest to go off with. And so we'll look at this one. I'm going to switch this so that we can see all our errors. Boom. And there we go. So, I wanted to talk about non-standard implementation. And in order to do that, I need to draw for you. And I know how you guys love me drawing for you. And let's see if that'll open up. Yes, there it goes. And I'll minimize this. So normally what we do, or in my case, what I do is I'll set up SEO Press Pro. SEO Press Pro actually has a really good built-in system for breadcrumbs, and that's entirely out of pure laziness, right? I don't really care if my breadcrumbs are set up properly, but with that, I'm also relooking the idea that maybe I might be discounting breadcrumb schema. But when this is all written at the end of the day, and I'm going to let's pretend this is SEO this week, right? So I have a page in Digitaleer that is entitled SEO this week. And actually in my breadcrumbs, let's try to get this even more accurate. And now that I screwed that up, I can press harder. Is actually homepage, and then SEO this week, and then the episode. Okay, so and that actually really works out for the blog. The episode goes back to the category. The category page is actually redirected to SEO this week, the show, and then it goes to the homepage. Perfectly acceptable. And it's really easy to do programmatically because of the redirect in here. It's not screwing anything up. And I'm pretty sure I still have that redirected place. I broke my website, if you guys remember. Let me make sure that it's still there while we're doing it. I'll show you. You delete this, and it should redirect. There you go. So it redirects to SEO this week page. It doesn't go to the category page, which is exactly what I wanted it to do, right? So that's actually not too bad. I think if we go back to, and this is where I'm kind of reconsidering the way I'm doing stuff, is if we look at the structured data in here, we should see breadcrumbs. Here's the breadcrumb list. Digitaleer, yeah. See, it's showing the category, and that's kind of a problem, right? So I've let a plugin make my schema on there out of laziness, and this page is what? That's a 301 redirect. So I'm screwing up the silo, as it were, for this particular stack, the episode to the show to the homepage, by putting a 301 redirect inside of my schema. And that's something that we need to be cognitive of that we're doing that when you're actually writing your own schema, or that when you're letting a plugin do it. So what are my two options? Well, option one is I could turn off the breadcrumb schema inside of SEO Press Pro and manually write that for all my pages, or I can just leave it on and see if SEO Press Pro will actually add a page or post exempt rule, right? So the ones that I go in and fix, I can exempt that post ID until I got them all fixed, and then I can turn off breadcrumb schema. Is that worth it though? I think that's a really good question, and that would be where testing comes in. Are we really wasting our time doing that? So I wanted to think of some other ways to implement it. And you saw the silo there. Episode to the 301 at 301s to the actual sales page, or to the actual page for SEO this week, and then Digitaleer.com. But let's think about if you build silos the way I do. How are you going to handle that breadcrumb stuff? And is it worthwhile? And I think that what we're going to find out is that it is. And the reason for that is there's so many text elements that are still available to us right here that I believe we can leverage. And so I wanted to write some of that stuff out and kind of see how far we can go. So in order to do that, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to start writing this out. So search engine optimization. Optimization /SEO. And I'm using Digitaleer, so as an example. And then the page that I want to hit at the top of my silo for my SEO pages is actually this one right here. Okay. Now, I'm sure I showed you guys before the silo stuff, but here's the top of the silo for my Arizona. Here's the top of the silo for my Arizona SEO page. And that really sucks because that was my Maps phone number. So Arizona SEO, top of the silo, boom. And I want to put that right here. And then I want to put Arizona SEO. And then I have all my cities linked to you in here. This map's pissed me off. I'm going to take it out. Gotta let the Hey, you guys hear me now? All right, you should be able to hear me now. All right. So, okay, so where was I? You heard me on the. I'll go back. So, um, if you look at this one, it's the pages, right? The setup is the pages, and hopefully you can hear me. Let me know in the chat if you can hear me. The meter's moving. Okay, good. All right, so you have the pages here are set up. So let me zoom in. I keep forgetting about you guys. Um, it's not the Phoenix SEO page. Well, I don't have physical silos stretched up. So if it was a physical silo, it'd be Digitaleer, and then digitaleer.com to Arizona, and then digitaleer.com/Arizona/Phoenix, right? And I don't do that. I like the short URLs, and I want it to rank in Phoenix. I'm not trying to rank it in Arizona. In the Arizona things. I just want to make it specifically clear to the machine this is a Phoenix SEO page. So that's why the plugins we're using to create breadcrumb schema don't do our sites any justice, because at the end of the day, it's breaking our silos inside of the schema. So when you come in here and look at it, when you're manually editing it, and let me zoom in so I can let you guys see a little bit better. I got the top of my page, or the top of the breadcrumb schema is the search engine optimization page, Arizona, and then Phoenix SEO. But we want to see if this can actually, or fixing this will actually give us a ranking boost from it, right? So we're going to go ahead and add some extra stuff inside of there. I don't need additional type. These are the 3 required. These are all extras. Anything under properties for themes and schema.org, in case you guys missed it, all of these are all universal. You can use them in everything. Okay. So what we want to do is there's a type, there's a list item, and I want to test if I can do this. This is only a test. And while we're at it, because it's easy enough, this is also only a test. Okay, and I did that. What else can I put in there? Ooh, I can do this. And I think I have one of those inside of here. Actually, I'm just going to use this image address. Main entity of page. Main entity page. And I got to come in here. Actually, we should have just used. I'll use this. I could probably be more inventive, but I'm going to use that for this. I just want to see if I can add this stuff. Subject of. Go here. Ranking my business in Google with SEO. All right, so I think we could use same as. Watch this. Let's use same as. Oops. We need to second big axis here. And then I'm going to do this, and I think in here I have a MRID URL saved. No, I don't. Crap. Let me open one. This one should have it. And I'm just going to put one. I'm just going to put one in there just to have it in there, all right? And that's the Google Machine ID URL in the same as. So we got to close it, close that, and close that. All right, let's see if we can do it. New test. Boom. Get ready to all. That is awesome. Okay, you guys see where I'm going now, right? We're going to start adding keywords. We're going to start leveraging this stuff for our benefit. Let's look at this one and see what it tells us. And I got smartphone in there. That's fine. Boom. Now we can do some cool guy shit. So let's go here. Name is something that's allowed under all the schemas, right? And if you remember, if you see it in here, you guys probably all see this a lot. Unnamed item. Well, guess what? Arizona SEO. Arizona SEO services. Ooh, there's another one. SEO company. Ooh, this one's a better one. Arizona SEO agency. There we go. Oh, don't need that. Need that. Let me make sure that the tool is going to let me get away with it. Run test. Boom. See? Look at that name set. Now my breadcrumb has a name. Arizona SEO agency. Now we're cooking with gas. And remember what I said, you can use description, you can use disambiguated description, you can use same as, that's going to be fun in there. Image, I don't really need. And then item, I don't really need. What else can we do? Main entity of page. It's not a page specifically. It's just an item list, so I'm not going to mess with that. And then, all right, so that should be good there. So here I want to do description. Just for just the time, I'm going to half-ass this. Digitaleer is the best Arizona SEO agency company, because I got agency in there already, available to help your business capture rankings, traffic, and leads from your online marketing efforts. And I need to put this in Word Wrap, and I need to move this over so you can see the whole damn thing. Okay, so there we go. This description's in there, disambiguated description. We are going to be lazy because we're human beings and we're lazy. We're going to go to Quillbot. I don't have to log in because it's not that long, so I'm just do this. And I do have I did log in. The premium is actually pretty dope, so check it out. You can. It's best if you're using this tool like sentences, not
the whole articles, but you can go in here and get sentences and stuff actually written up pretty good. And I'm just looking for some synonyms. I'm just letting it do its thing. I didn't even read it, right? So, and boom, that's in there. And let's see, online marketing, Arizona best, Arizona company available. I'm gonna put top Arizona company available just so I can get that one. Here we're gonna go for a knowledge graph thing. I don't have the API and Pablo's tool set up, so I'm going to use, it's pretty, actually I'm going to use another one because I don't want to burn through his stuff. Let me find player banner, recipes. Crap, I'm going to have to. Oopsie. I got to get my stuff inside of SEO Ruler turned on so I don't have to do full lists like this. There's another tool that you can do it, but you have to know your API key. And one, I'm not going to share that with you guys. Sorry, not sorry. And two, it's all right. No, I'll show you that one. It's this one. It's up, no, up, build knowledge graph entity search. You come in here and give your word, put your API key in. What I'm getting from topical relevance, it actually singles it out. And that's what Pablo's tool does to you at the same time. So, all right, so I want to look for digital marketing, search engine optimization. I'm going to go with the digital marketing one just because I don't see SEO company in that list. And I don't want to board you guys trying to read through this whole thing. Alrighty, so here we are. Boom, that one's done. And set that. As you guys been through my course, you probably know that I'm a little anal about this stuff, just so I can read it better. There. And then what else? That's pretty much what we agreed on, right? I think that's good. So let's go over here. I want to test it again. Make sure that Google likes all that stuff. Boom, still good. Ta-da! All right, now all this is in my head. The machine learning algorithms and the algorithms specifically for relevancy are getting all this stuff. If, like the job schema, the job posting schema, where that test failed, is we know that the ranking algorithms are ignoring it, right? If the ranking algorithms are ignoring the breadcrumb schema that we have set up right now, this could be like all for naught, right? But if it's not, what did I do? I added SEO agency, Arizona SEO agency, Arizona SEO company, best Arizona SEO company, top Arizona SEO company, and I don't necessarily have to stuff my content with all that extra crap like SEO keywords. I'm putting it in here and letting Google know with schema how good my page is, right? So that's the goal. What we're going for with this this whole madness. So let me go back to the screen, and as you can see, we're good, and we can add all of that stuff that we did here to every one of those lists. So let's go here, and I'm going to go list item, and it's got the name. Remember, I can't put URL in there because it's for that page. It's just the way the breadcrumbs work. I bet you I could. You know what? I don't want to say I can't. Let me go URL. It's just not the standard implementation of it, right? But, oh, okay. What happened? URL. And then to put this URL in here. Let's see if it lets us do it. If it does, I'm not hurting everything. I doubt that I'm getting any benefit out of doing that. Well, let's just see if it acknowledges it as it's okay. Yeah, it passed. So we're good. All right, so I can do URL. That's there. Let's go with description. Let's go with, oh shit, come on. Let's go with disambiguated description. We want to go with same as. What else? What else am I missing? Image. We can do image. Main entity of page. Do that. Main entity of page. That should work. I don't need this, the item, because it's not part of the URL. Like, so the way that I don't think URL is going to interfere with the way that this displays. I think we're like here where it tested is good. So there's no sense in doing item because it's just the URL again. Main entity of page, subject of. That's what we can get. What the hell? No one calls me all day until I start recording shows. Subject of Frankie. Alright, I think that's it. Do you guys see anything else? Come on, let me know. Crowdsourcing. Identifiers I don't need. Main entity. Potential action. I could do the search stuff. Not really necessary here. Same as URL, list items, or I think we got it. I think we're good. We don't want it to do too much. Now, in the interest of laziness, we're going to put this here. And I'm going to change this to this. And there, disambiguated description. I'm going to change this. Oh, what did I do? There you go. There. It's like a fat finger mashing the keyboard and screwing everything up. Same as I want to put something about Phoenix in there, and I would do Phoenix, something about, I would do SEO. I'll put the Wikipedia and the machine IDs for Phoenix for SEO, and then maybe some Phoenix neighborhoods. Okay, I'm not going to do that here just because it would take us forever to research all that shit, and I don't feel like putting my API keys on in front of you and pulling all that stuff out because it's a pain in the ass. I'll have it next time. But pretend this is, Phoenix SEO or Phoenix. There's SEO, there's search engine optimization. The entities really is what we're doing for the keyword term that we're doing it for, right? And then we have our image, and for the sake of example, I'm going to do this and put that image in there. So we got all this built out. There's Arizona. This is only a test. We'll pretend that we did all that stuff for those things. Those are there. Best Phoenix company. This would have all that Arizona stuff that we actually put up here. We'd probably just put best agency. I'll go SEO agency. Well, let me do this so that you guys can see it. Phoenix SEO. I'll do this. And I'll take this. And so there's SEO company. And this is and I can leave that because it's the description of the breadcrumb. This is and SEO is the top of the breadcrumb. I can leave that for now. Actually, no, I won't. You like how my brain works? I'm looking at it and I'm like, let me go to 500 different things I can do. Description. We got to get this one built out. Disambiguated description. You guys have any questions? Let me know. I'm still watching. I can see the little scrolly thing. Let's see. Main entity page. I can put that in there. And then I could do. I don't want to do. I guess I can. I can do same as. And what else? I have an image for that page too. Image. Okay. I think that should do it. And in order to build that, I want to use this. I'm just going to use some copyright off the page just to make this easier. And close that. Paraphrase this. Okay, thanks. Copy that. I need this for this part. And you can read that and you know it's totally wrong, right? So we're good. Main entity page. Just get the URL. Same as. I want to put this one again. Obviously, you want to think a little bit more. You can put some more stuff in there, right? So, you know, get different same as is. Don't duplicate the same as, unless you absolutely have to. For the most part, you're not going to have to. You can do like, in my case, SEO same as would be here. Arizona stuff would be here, and then Phoenix stuff would be here. Versus putting SEO, and all in one. You don't need to do that. You've already shown the robot that some of that stuff is there, and that's when you're like doing it for this specific page. Now, if you think that, or if you believe, or you or worry that it may be associating all of this stuff with this page and helping the Arizona SEO page rank, even though it's on the Phoenix page, then maybe put all three of them in there. So you, at the end of the day, you're going to do that data pull anyway. So more is probably going to be okay. It's not going to, it's not going to kill you. It's not going to hurt you. And then I think that's it. So we got all of that. Let's test it. And where did I mess up? Made it to the page. Where did I leave it blank? Oh, subject of. subject of, geez, you can put text in here. List of the best Phoenix SEO agencies. Subject of that list, right? So that's basically what you're saying. If it's a subject of a book, you could put subject of the book in there if you wanted to, etc., etc. That's how that subject of works, but you can put text in there, so you're good. We're good in this application, and then good there too. So I think I got all of it now. Let's test it one more time. Boom. There we go. It's all there. Okay. So this kind of goes back to my response to Noor and his question. What do you write? Like, I don't know. Right? So we just pretend we just did this for your affiliate page. We just wrote out all this stuff, and there's just the breadcrumb schema for your affiliate page. And then now we got to do the article stuff. And if you're looking at this article template, this is the template that's in place for SEO this week. Look how long this is. And I didn't even build it out the way, like completely, like publisher or the organization's not all the way filled out. Awards and those about, I could probably expand upon that a whole bunch more. Inside the article schema on its own, I can put the entire copy of the article in there with no spaces. Like the entire article, I can write it inside of here and drop it inside of the head if I wanted to, and just feed the machine, feed the beast more and more. So when you're looking at this template here, this is for for Silo, and now I've supported my Silo. I've interlinked it properly, and now Google can actually see where things go. Will they give me that rich snippet stuff? That's, you're kind of like hit or miss right there if it's going to do that. But I've gone as much as I can to say, hey Google, this is the silo. This is how everything's all interlinked. This is how it's all worked out, right? And it's up to the engineers over at Google to figure out the deployment of that, and if they wanted to give me credit, because I'm not using a physical silo structure, I'm using a virtual one put together with internal linking versus URL structure. So that's it's something that's really cool for me. What the defined term set for? I don't know where you're seeing that. Look at the lines. What code line are you referring to? Defined term. Is there a decent web app that would fix broken schema syntax? There is. It is right here. JSON formatter. And basically what it does is, I'll show you. If you look at these, right, those are non-standard. This stuff is non-standard, so it's always going to be there. But if, let's say, I screw up one of those, it tells me that it's not there, that line is broken, right? So, but it's not that line, is it? I erased that. I erased something way up here, and so that's one of the downsides of this particular tool and following those recommendations, is because it's not looking specifically at. If you saw as I was typing here in Sublime, the error messages showed up. See, that's an error. It indicates that I'm missing something. This is an error. It indicates that I'm missing something that is not closed out. So that's the value of using an IDE. Like this is Sublime, it does it. Today I was messing with Xcode. I don't have, no, that's not the one I want. Here it is. Well, I'll let you see what it looks like in Xcode. And see, there's Xcode, and the formatting, the syntax that I turned on in Sublime to make everything the colors it is on here, and you see that it's just black and red, right? But what I didn't notice in this one is, well, there's the erroring, a little bit of the erroring. It's trying to do it. Let me delete that again and see what happens. Yeah, see, it's saying that one's not open or it hasn't been closed. And I'm not really like a, I'm still learning this one. If I can lay it out, then I will. Let me turn assistant on. Let me go to layout, assistant on the right, and let's break something. Yeah, and it's not telling me errors other than that thing is going away. It's not working out. So there may be something that I can turn on. I'm not really entirely sure, but inside of Sublime, it's beautiful. Oops, not seeing my screen right now. Well, maybe I don't want to show you again. All right, so here you go. Look, errors. See that in Sublime? There's error. I erased this. It's showing me the errors. It's doing it as I'm typing, so that solves that issue. If it's JSON formatter, I'll go back to that one. I'm assuming you didn't see it. JSON formatter is looking for the commas, but it's also looking for the closing bracket. So if you get closing brackets screwed up, which a lot of people do, you get the error message, closing at the end, not found. And the downside of those closing brackets is trying to figure out which one you did. So like if you get, let's say, for instance, this one was pretty easy, right? But if I had like 5 or 6 of those, I would have to delete all 5 or 6 of those in order to use this tool to figure out where I messed up in getting the brackets properly done. And it's just a kind of a pain in the ass. But for the most part, if you're using Sublime, you can save yourself a whole lot of drama versus just putting this in a text editor like, oh, you can use no plus plus. Well, you can, but I don't know if is no plus plus. Are they putting in the errors? Not even sure. I even tried it. I used BB Edit. It wasn't doing it. I used some other Mac stuff, and it just wasn't doing it. So I just bought a Sublime and turned on the syntax, and now I'm good to go. I don't have like 99% of my problems are gone. Let's see. Chat again. Sublime is actually in Windows too, so you can use Sublime in Windows. I do know that. Let's see. Joseph, if a page was already optimized before schema, do we need to remove C keywords or Surfer to cognitive pick up on this? You do not. I do know from people's experiences where they've relayed to me is that Page Optimizer Pro for some reason finds the schema in there. I don't know how they're counting the page and etc. To me, it seems like for word count, they would exclude the head. Um, but I think maybe that may have been a case where whoever implemented that schema and then saw it in pop actually implemented it in the body. But that's a pure guess. But in regards to Surfer and Cognitive, I've never seen them pick up my schema stuff and apply it to the content editor stuff. But for the most part too, right? I do the content first and then I do the schema. So if you've already done the content stuff based off of what I showed you guys in my content editor video, I think was that 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago. You're ready for the schema stuff already. And if you haven't done that, just do the content first, get it out of the way, and then you can do the schema stuff. And when you're on a tool like text editor or text or topical relevance or in SEO Ruler, it'll give you the list of entities, right? And you'll already know because you've dealt with the site with phrase and cognitive or phrase and surfer and in links, and you already know what's kind of to be expected, and you can clean that list up again. Okay. Anything else? Any other questions? It was only pretty long, but that what you saw here, if you guys are like tossing around, should I get the course, should I not? That is what the course is. I go through these different types and we just brainstorm together how to get the most out of that schema. And we're not doing like, if you're thinking of it from the black hat and white hat perspective, we're not doing anything black hat. We're not keyword stuffing. We're filling out what schema.org, something that Google, Bing, Yandex, and a whole bunch of other people all got together and said, this is the standard for schema and how structured data markup should be. And we're leveraging that the way that it was intended to be so that we can feed the machines. And that's what we did. And if you remember the basic junky, and I can show it to you guys if you want me to, but the basic junky minimalistic version that we're getting from a plugin, SEO Press Pro, or the basic junky version that you can see off of pretty much any plugin that is using what Google developers have versus what we did and what we were able to put together just using a little bit of imagination. So I think that's pretty much what we do. Do you know any JSON LD obfuscators? What specifically are you trying to do? Right? And you want to hide it. I know you want to hide it now because I had to Google what you were looking for. That's a good question because there's a lot of tools, right? There's a lot of tools out there that are trying to steal that shit. Mike Martin and the guys over at Ranking Factory, they both have it where they're stealing people's schema. And I have a method that I try to use to hide, and I don't know, like if I tell you what they're doing and I tell it to you publicly, will they watch it and then try to reverse engineer what I'm trying to do with it, right? Like try to hide it. And I don't want to give them the head start. So, if I was trying to make things hidden, I would not necessarily worry about making them hidden. I would just make it harder for a tool to read. And then if you make it too hard for the tool to read, are you screwing with Google? So I would do the minimum amount necessary to make that code smaller in order to make it harder for a tool to pull that out because it's not in lines versus all being in one line. All right, so I think I've given you enough hints right there of some things that I'm testing, but at the end of the day, there's no real way of hiding this within your HTML without exposing that to your competition. It's just no real way to do it. Eventually, they're gonna figure that out and try to. You just got to kind of compete the beast, right? Yeah, exactly. I'm doing pretty much the same kind of thing, just to see if I can make it a little bit harder for them. But it's there's so many people that even think about it this way. Schema has been around forever. I'm not the first person to teach building out schema and leveraging for the best that they can. I think I'm the first person that's put all those pieces together and tested and shown why you should do it. Everyone else is just like, ta-da, let's just do it because the lines are there, but they never figured out the why and gave you the task, purpose, and how to do it, right? But even so, 1 in 100 websites in the search results have real decent schema, right? So I think that the way that I did it, the way that the people that are teaching, that are learning from me and my course are probably pretty safe for now. because people are lazy. Even to this day, I've taught in all this stuff, and you know the number one question I get: when are you making a tool to make this for us? Fucking hell, you know what I mean? So um, it's it's just it's just the way we are. It's our animals. Can you encode it? Ah, um, you can encode it and embed it in a JPEG, video, or PDF, but putting it in a hexadecimal on HTML, I think that's probably the only way you could apply it. And I have not seen where I tested my cloud applications of that process. I don't see the schema from the image that's inside of the hexadecimal. I think Google's kind of caught on to that. So you could hide it in your image, but you can't optimize your image in any way. If it's altered in any way, it either will rip it out or it just won't present. So that's why you have to put it on the cloud and not do anything to it. And then if Google reads the image, it'll see the schema, but will that necessarily mean that it's associated with your domain or that page? I don't know. And if you guys don't know what Everard is talking about, it's binary code. There's a little method where malware was being placed in images, and pretty much when you're using like a smush or any image optimization thing, it actually rips out a lot of that code right off the bat, and this kind of saves you. And we've just kind of turned that into a method to insert schema inside of an image, and we can host that somewhere else. Let's see. And I don't see any more questions. I appreciate you guys. I hope that you got something out of this and it didn't waste your time. I hope you understand now a little bit more of my thinking or my thought process behind schema and how we can pretty much turn even something as basic as the breadcrumbs list into some ranking value for us. You can watch Digitaleer as I grow more and more. I got a bunch of client work I got to catch up on this week, but probably next week I'll start dropping the schema structure onto the pages and turn off the normal schema, especially since right now I'm getting 301s from the SEO This Week show, so it's kind of silly to keep that on there when I can just write out this template for the shows and just change that last list item type, right, and change the URL and change the information and Bob's your uncle. So that's breadcrumb schema. That's how to write breadcrumb schema. And that's SEO This Week, episode 185. Thank you for watching. If you could hit the comments, hit the likes, hit the dislikes, subscribe, hit the bell notification, etc., etc. Help me become internet famous because God knows I need it. And I'll see you next week.